Tonight, too much water. Ida hits. Roads turn to rivers, and you can get caught in the torrent. One driver here did, and a 69 News crew was able to help them get to safety. Good evening, I'm Rob Vaughn.
I'm Wendy Davis. The Northampton County 911 Center has extra staff working tonight because the trouble calls just keep coming in.
There is water all over the place. A lot of roads are closed. We're going to cover it all for you tonight. Trees and wires are down in many spots, and many roads remain flooded. Let's start our team coverage with WFMZ's Priscilla Ligori in Bethlehem Township. Priscilla.
Rob and Wendy, the water outside of the Keystone Pub here was fast and furious earlier tonight, but just within the last half hour, it's really receded. Still, that is not the case everywhere. Northampton County officials tell us that there have been 11 water rescues so far. Luckily, no injuries reported.
It's like literally a river here.
Sunset Drive in Bethlehem Township has become a raging river as what's left of Hurricane Ida drenches Northampton County.
We're literally stranded. So heaven forbid one of us got ill or injured. I don't know how anybody would get to us.
Tanya Lee Jones and Leanne Martinez say they've seen this nearly 10 times in the 3 years they've lived here.
We're not in a flood zone, but yet we're in severe danger. There was a study for 4 years that they did, and they kind of found out that there's this retention pond that comes down from the city, and it all kind of gushes out into the street.
Big chunks of asphalt end up tearing out and come into our yard.
Rhiannon Parker is staying with Tanya and Leanne until the water recedes.
By the time I got home, the entire street was flooded, and it actually goes around my entire house and both streets on this side, so I couldn't get to my house.
Given that Leanne uses a wheelchair, she and Tanya are hoping something will be done to address the trouble spots that repeatedly flood.
Have it drain to wherever they need to drain, have sewer ducts and what have you.
Meanwhile, county officials warn about staying away from creeks and streams nearby the rising waters of the Lehigh and Delaware rivers. Cars floating, even filling up with water, were a common sight throughout the Lehigh Valley Wednesday. Here you see WFMZ photojournalist Chris Post jumping into action, guiding a driver and passenger to safety on Santee Road. The warning not to drive on flooded roads remains as important as ever.
Here's the bottom line. Don't do it. You can drown. It doesn't take a lot of water to move your car.
And tonight, Bethlehem Township issued a volunteer evacuation advisory for residents in the low-lying areas of the Lehigh River. Also, Freemansburg Borough and Lehigh County have opened emergency centers. We're live in Northampton County. Priscilla Ligori, 69 News.
All right.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Well, Ida has definitely arrived. Lots of roads closed because of the rushing water. Trees are down. That means power lines are down in some spots, too.
Yeah, we've even got video in from tornadoes that were very bad in South Jersey. Knocked down houses. We'll come to that in just a little bit.
That's right. WFMZ's Dane Murray, however, has been monitoring things in Lehigh County for us. She is live with the latest from there. Dane.
So it seemed like Allentown police were ready for today. We have been patrolling the area for several hours today, and they had roads closed before floodwaters got too high and people tried to drive through them. But, you know, Mother Nature, she's going to do what she does, and there are just some things you cannot predict. Light rain falling over the region Wednesday turned dangerous quickly in Allentown.
Of course, the explosion. I never heard that before.
Police closed a portion of 12th and Downey Flake just before 4 after a tree knocks out power to homes and businesses. It doesn't take much rain for Cedar Creek to crest. The parking lot lost in all the water. Another hot spot, Hamilton Street. Drivers couldn't dodge rushing water right outside the diner. People had to turn around before hitting Lehigh Street and 33rd at the South Mall. The intersection resembled a river. Drivers ignored barricades on West Emmaus Avenue, but police showed up quickly to keep them out. But crews couldn't stop this.
This is actually the worst we've seen.
More than 30 years living off Emmaus Avenue, and Marie Pinto says this is what the creek normally looks like.
Normally on a regular rainy day, the water will come up a little bit in the creek. It's usually kind of dry, and we don't get too much in there.
She says she has never seen it get this bad.
So when I came home today, I parked on the street knowing that the alley has flooded before. So I figured I was just going to play it safe and park on the street. And luckily I did, because within the half hour, 45 minutes after I came home, this is what happened.
She says the city does come and clean the drain that the water flows into, but remnants of Hurricane Ida were no match, making the situation that much more dangerous, especially with her 2 small children.
It's insane, and luckily we have locks on the door that they can't get out, because I would be terrified if they were outside right now or anywhere near back here right now.
Wendy and Rob, there are other homes in the area. As you can imagine, they are surrounded by water. We couldn't get to them. Now, Marie says it takes just a few hours for that water to go down outside of her building. But of course, it has to stop raining first. We're live in Allentown. Dane Murray, 69 News.
All right. Thanks, Dane, for that. And then the New Jersey pictures we were telling you about. Several homes in southern New Jersey have been leveled, and you're looking at damage in the Mullica Hill section of Harrison Township, Gloucester County, New Jersey. Large single houses on this street flattened. A number of them, I don't have the exact number, but a number of them have been reduced to rubble there in Mullica Hill, Gloucester County, New Jersey.